Hello guys, this video is the Royal Crown Beginner Guide for 2021. You might be asking why 2021? This is because we played the game during pre-season 1 and there are a lot of changes. Right now you can see that it's already season 1, the official season 1, which started last February. Now from the pre-season, there were a lot of changes, and for beginners and returners, here are some of the things that you should know before actually diving in the game. Let's get started. Alright, so number 1, training. Complete the training. I strongly recommend that you do the training because at the start of the game will teach you the basic controls and the things that you need to know within the game. So I strongly recommend to do this and not just blitz through it. So should you ever want to review, you can go to prepare, and then there is the tutorial. However, you will not be able to do the basic controls again, as seen here. Okay, but you will be able to do other things such as the farming, gathering, and all the other stuff. And one of the most important, about the presets. Okay, so don't skip the training and also go through this tutorial. Alright, next is the presets. So to do this, you go to prepare and then there is the presets options. Now before you start the game, so I recommend that you try and check this out. So let's say the hero that you want to use is Alicia. By default, there will be no presets under the user tab, but there will be a recommended. So if you select view, you will be able to see the weapons and the cards that already has been set. And then under the map guide, so there will be markers. That is the recommended route or recommended path for you to do, so that you will be able to create and craft the equipments that will make your character stronger. Also, if you don't want to use this, so there is also a shared tab where presets of other players are shared. So you can copy this by just selecting import, for example, and there you have it. Now when you go back to user, so this is already there. So when you go in game, you can select to use this preset or the recommended preset by the game. So I still suggest for beginners, just try to copy a preset of other players, and then from there on you can customize it as you see fit. Okay, we'll be making another video, an in-depth explanation of the tabs here and presets, but as I mentioned earlier, check out the presets first and try to copy at least maybe one from other players, because I think their presets are a lot better than the recommended preset given by the game. So this can also give you an edge at the start of the game. So next is farm first. Okay, after landing in whichever area that you chose, maybe suggest that you just farm first and not try and kill other enemies or any AI that comes near you unless they keep on bothering you. Okay, so like what I did here, I did saw an enemy, a player, so I didn't bother chasing after him because if ever I do kill him, his teammates can just easily revive him. Because unlike before, if you're a returner of the game, if you guys remember, if you do die, your teammates can revive you, but before they revive you, they first have to get your I think it was a medal from your body. So in short, they have to go to you wherever you died, get your medal, then go back to the statue to revive you. Unlike now, should you die, wherever they are, and if they are near a statue, they can revive you, but of course you won't have any items. But the point is, in the early games, there's no point in actually fighting, because instead of farming, you'll just be chasing other players away, and other players will be able to farm. And should you encounter them mid to late game, you'll be out farmed, and I guess you'll just die easily. Alright, so after diving in the game, so one of the first things that I've mentioned is that you should just farm first. Now, along with that, you should just follow the map markers as seen here on the map. You can access the map through M, or you can just tap it if you're in mobile. So here, the recommended route is just to go to Winery, Ferris Lake, Minor Tavern, Pro Quarry, Will Lighthouse, and then eventually to the Coral Forest. So the start of the game for beginners, I recommend to just follow the markers, and eventually you should be able to craft and create the items that you need. Okay, next is the inventory mechanics. Now, so for the inventory, you can only have 3 pieces for every kind of material. This will only occupy 1 slot. So what I mean by this is, for example, the papyrus. So right now I have 8 pieces. So if I drop all of this and try to get them again, so 1 slot is occupied for every 3 pieces. Okay, so it's good to know about this so that you will be able to manage your inventory should you have more pieces of the same kind of material. This also applies to other materials, as you can see here. Okay, next is how to drop the items, as you have seen. So if you hover your cursor here, shift plus left click, you will be able to drop and specify the amount of items that you want to drop. You can also just drag and drop the item. That will work as well. So again, this is for managing your inventory. So
the red zone has been generated. Field will be activated
my suggestion
soon.
is to prioritize, of course, the materials that you need to create your gear, and then likewise to get lots of consumables such as herbs or other things that you will need so that you can use them as your consumables, like the materials for petrification and for the dimension shift powder for teleport, like so. The next one is the hotkeys, or the shortcut buttons. So you can see this even while you're inside the game. I mean, while you're playing. So the noteworthy keys or shortcuts for me is this one, instant crafting. For the PC, by default it's the back coat. So this is the back coat. The back coat key is the key below the escape key, usually, or beside the number 1 key. So if you are able to meet the requirements, you just have to press the back coat key and you'll be able to instantly craft the item, as long as it's in your preset. Another noteworthy key is the F1 and F2 in space. So if you're in a squad and if you just tap F1, you'll be able to see one of your allies immediately. No need to look for them. You'll immediately go to them, your camera. So likewise, that is the same effect for F2. And to go back to yourself, you just have to tap on space. Another one is the tab key. So by pressing tab, you'll be able to see the stats of your team, their equipment. Likewise, if you saw an enemy, just briefly, if you press on tab, you'll be able to see their equipment as well. So this will help you assess the situation if you want to go and clash with them to see if you have the advantage or not. But of course, a bit risky since when you press the tab key while you're in front of an enemy, you won't be able to do anything to them, right? So that's going to be a case-to-case basis. But feel free to review the other hotkeys that is available for your advantage. Okay. Alright, next up is the supply crates. So like any BR games, the supply crates can contain the materials needed to craft the legendary equipments. By legendary equipments, these are the orange equipments. So usually it's either Heart of Ice, Heart of Fire, or the other equipments for creating the gloves and the boots, the legendary gloves and boots. So this is also a good way if your team are already ready to fight. So most likely than not, there will be other teams that will be going to the supply crates, and if you do win against them, so you get their items, and at the same time you get the contents of the supply crates. Okay, so this is good to know. If ever you're also under farm around late game, so if ever you're able to go to the supply crate position, or you're able to go there as the first team, so you'll be able to retrieve whatever is inside of it. Okay. One of the most important, which could actually dictate whether you win or lose against a team, is the consumable. So by consumables, this goes from the food, the potion, up to the poison trap, the petrify, the logs, the totems, the items. So in this clip, I'll be showing you the importance of using the consumables. So obviously, for the food and potion, they're important so that you can regenerate HP and mana throughout the game. But during team fights, it's important to never forget to use them. As you can see, while I'm chasing this other Leo, I didn't use my log and my spear until at the end where their HP is almost gone. So if I used it earlier, I would have been able to chase him more better, instead of just waiting for his other teams to arrive, right? So likewise, it is also important to always remember to have a teleport dust or the dimension dust, because this is very important should you wish to chase after your enemy, or should you ever need to escape the other team. Okay, so don't ever forget to use your consumables during a team fight. Personally, I always forget them because I'm too focused on using the skills, but the difference, once you actually remember and actually use and let the consumables land on the other team, would greatly benefit the team fight. Also, this can also turn the tide should you ever find yourself underfarmed against a better team. Let's just say you manage to land both the petrify and the poison, so that's already a free damage to their entire team, right? So it's very important to take note of the consumables. Communicate. So like any BR game, or literally any game, so it's important that you communicate with the other team. Even though if you're just solo and you're in a squad, it's best to let them know where you're going or what they need, or even ask what they need so that they can also have better equipment. Last but not the least would be the red indicator. From these clips, you will be able to see that sometimes when you're just walking around, there will be a red indicator around you. So this means that an enemy is near you. But right now, from what I know, red indicators appear when there is a fight near you. Either a player is fighting another player, or a player is just fighting a monster, like they're farming. So even though a player is just farming a monster, a slime, or a crab, there is a possibility that a red indicator will appear. So this means that other teams will know that you're farming somewhere, right? And another reason for this red indicator to appear is when someone is riding his or her mount and he or she is near you. So you'll be able to tell that there is someone passing by or someone is heading your direction. Another, but this is not yet confirmed, I think that the red indicator does not appear when you're just walking. So I think if you're, let's say, someone is walking towards you and you still can't see them, there will be no red indicator. But this is not yet confirmed, but this is just my observation from playing the game. So let's say the circle is already very small and you don't want to be found. I suggest that you just walk around. And also I would like to add that if you're in a bush and let's say you're riding your mount and you're just running around in the bush, a red indicator will still appear from your enemies. So they will be able to know that more or less you're in the direction of the bush if you're moving while you're in the mount, while you're in the bush, right? So another recommendation would be when you're in the bush, try to dismount so that you can still move should you wish inside the bush.